So I'm not gonna say that being thorough is a crime. I'm like that is the furthest thing, that impression that I'm gonna attempt, because that would be a complete failure if I gave the impression that to being thorough is a crime. You know, crimes requires a process, a court process, and people to testify. But what if it's also the case, and it hasn't been not the case since or ever, that you have to testify on behalf of thorough people, because it's the furthest thing than you can expect as a motivation for somebody to create all of this attention around authenticity and vying for a title, that somebody who's gaslit, it wouldn't be without a trial, that it could be reversed in a sense, like, and maybe not in a sense of like criminal courts, like, the courts of the land, but still some court, some manner of fashion, like even a council or something held, because somebody have to testify to your thoroughness, because we're trying to cultivate those characteristics if you want your society to grow and not die and just vanish and go away to nothing. There can't be any confusion around what is thorough. And the thing is, only thing that can inspire that is love. So it creates this title and this authenticity. And so human nature, I guess, is corruption, and it is to try to garner some of the expeditiousness of having a platform that is closely aligned with the things that we know to be thorough. If you have some of those qualities and virtues, I might try to gaslight you, because as a conveyance, I would like an expeditious platform like that. I'm jealous as a motherfucker than of your self-expression, like the way that you express, you know what I mean? And I could do the same thing with a few like sigil magic shits that people celebrated. They wouldn't even know to think or to challenge its thoroughness of the fucking this contrived agency. Like, this is a contrived agency. And if you think that they're wrong, well, they have plausible deniability. If they run out of that, they can farm plausible deniability and graft it from other people over back to the fucking what's it called? Because they're actually entities with no agency. Like my sister can help me figure this stuff out about people, but where she stops short is about with those like vestigious organizations that we consider reputable. Like they offer people, like, that's upward mobility. So anything that's not, they don't like women, especially with children, they don't have time to listen or hear none of that shit. And men have work too. They tend to like their job too much, and sometimes they think that they have to get back to doing something when they were really doing nothing. But the thing is, if it's their break time, then you're supposed to do nothing. But when you're at work and there's nothing, you have to look busy. Then if there's some wrong person comes up to you and talking to you, it's like, what are you doing talking to that person? You're supposed to be, earning your wages, is doing something constructive. So I get it. People are at work all day. They never have time to deal or challenge with these issues or anything like that. So So the voodoo ends up working on them, but actually it gets them to work for it. It's not the voodoo working on them. It gets them to work for it because they don't want to gaslight or alienate people close to them. This shit convinces people to fucking alienate people they like, that they want to keep around them. That's why I'm talking about it. Not because I want to be a truther and fucking kick out the establishment. Like, the establishment would kick itself out as soon as people made up their mind not to be ever gaslit. The establishment would just give you a look of, I'm so dissatisfied with you right now. But then they would get on back to their spaceship craft and fly back to whatever coordinates of the fucking galaxy that could be considered evil, I guess, where they came from. Shit. We don't expert on what galactic coordinates of the universe got evil. You know, most of it is high vibrate, like, you know, the frequency is of pure you know, like wisdom and shit, and so much love that you can keep it, you know what I mean? But fucking there is a couple of places. Earth is one of the most difficult, hardest places to try to reach a perspective that you wouldn't be drawn back in. Like, so what's drawing people in? It's like, well, obviously it's the same thing, you know what I mean? Why wouldn't that be the same thing as what's it called? Carrying the line, propagandistic, egalitarian, you know, principles not grounded in any universality. It's not a fucking... I mean, why are people worried about going to hell when you can go to hell now? You gotta be vigilant against how the quality of your life can go down to hell. Not worried about what happens after. I mean, I guess you can... No, actually it is. It works out to be that even though we don't know what's after this, does your action, if it is toward cultivating and living richly, then you must be doing what would be in the interest of a good afterlife, even if we don't know what that is. Why am I going to try to get... How? It's like, not why, but how. Like, not a why, but how would I convince you to stop doing that? Stop concerning yourself with that because, you know, that you don't know what that is. Okay, but what about the fucking life now? You know what I mean? Don't distract me with fucking what's good for my eternal soul after, if we can go to hell today, if we can go to hell now. And the fastest way is, you know, because even Christ went to hell. Like, how did Christ go to hell? He was gaslit. He wasn't... People didn't appreciate. They tried to get him to compromise his message because they didn't appreciate it. They wanted him to save them from overthrow the Romans, and be this like military official capacity, like a general or something, like a fucking common, I don't know what that is. Something official, a marshal, something like, you know, a legendary captain, ship's captain or some shit. How the fuck you gonna figure? How the fuck you gonna figure that you know what you're fucking waiting for, dumbass? Just look for the riches to come in a different way than you expected. And fucking the opportunity, you know, God will shoot you an opportunity. Just don't miss it. you know, and it's the senses that by which you can see value in something where other people can't, that gets gaslit. That's how people, that's how, checkmate, okay, please, check and mate. That's how the fucking, like, waiting for a better explanation, you might have to come up with your own to be a better explanation. Don't waiting for anyone to come up with a better explanation. You know they don't teach this shit in fucking universities. And I don't even know what I'm teaching. I just think that fucking talking about this, trying to get to, you know, the bottom of, you know, mundane concerns, like mundane issues, they don't teach in fucking school. Because it is mundane. You're supposed to expect that it's mundane. Then it's just like reason and logic and common sense. But that fucking, if you master, you have a problem. If you master reason and logic and common sense, then you have a problem. Because power can corrupt even the best of us. That's something that Christ would know. That's something that Christ would know. And that's why you would never be able to fuck with. Because he would already fucking know. That's why I think that he tricked them to fucking crucify the wrong motherfucker. And fucking sitting back and laughing at them. Oh man, because you know the state is just only attracted to the unification, the power by which under a symbol you could unite and you can conquer. Duh, that's what they do. That's what they're supposed. Then you pay taxes to them because you think they're gonna be in power and they won't fucking throw you in a salt mine. Duh, that's what they do. That's all it is. So, yeah, that's what it means. Give to Caesar what is Caesar's. That's why it'll even be like, it's like every time something timelessness in scripture, fucking write that down, fucking it's already there. You know what I mean? Things you would expect, but why would Christ have to say that? Because it's in the scripture, then Christ can just play soccer ball and shit. Then he can chop it up with you in mundane shit that we fell out of order with. Like the mundane shit. Because trying to get people to carry your message when you can just be more eloquent, or you can just figure out what's robbing you the energy on a quantum level. What is robbing your power, and just deal with that. You don't have to be no legend in anybody's mind and hearts and minds and all that shit. It's just excuses to go up and blow up some gypsies.